Wolfmeister and Wolfmutter.
Okay, this time it's working. Let me get the link thrown around.
Get down now. Come on. Okay. Okay. I can't have you doing this when I'm not paying attention. So
Yeah, let me get out of Guild Wars here.
I know.
Will you survive?
You're behaving yourself.
Stop.
You don't want it.
Oh man, it's funny, but you know, I could give him equal amounts of shit about him and Kitala both.
Hey man, Zin ain't hitting 80 by himself. He says with 140 tons of knowledge in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm back from being a dad be-sitter. Somebody figured out they could climb the bookcase.
Well, given that Spike got himself in trouble earlier, I'm guessing it was Rowdy.
Yes. They're trading, they're learning, they're improving, and they're
Hold on,
overwhelming
guys.
my old
You haven't started yet.
I
right?
have.
We're
Welcome, ladies.
Yeah, I'm live, dude.
Are we live? Okay, cool.
So hopefully they weren't hearing me sound like a dad in the background.
I don't know how much of that got caught on because I told you guys I was going live and then everything fucking happened all at once, apparently.
Oh god.
I had to go save the dragon. It's not getting broken, and I won't die from that
Is
hill.
the dragon sexy though?
No,
Oh,
it's
wow.
from Skyrim.
I mean, because if it's the right kind of dragon, then like you need to go in there. You need to get that dragon back.
No, the dragon's safe. It's Jin's dragon. So I wanted to make sure it was fine.
This is some euphemism.
No, not that. That dragon.
from the,
yeah, no.
It's from the Skyrim Collector's Edition, where they had the dragon statue. Alright, so go ahead and intro us in, Mike.
Alright, well, let's have all of you introduce yourselves. We'll just start with you since you brought it up.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mr. Nobody. I don't own the channel, and I'm nobody. So, but welcome to tonight, where we will be discussing a number of topics related to excusism and the reasons those people suck. Carry on, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'm the Armchair Warlord, and I have been fighting this for my entire professional career, and probably will continue to do so in my next professional. Pass it off to my good friend and good friend comrade Kitala Lars.
Hey everybody, Kitala Lars here, and I am just here to add my 2 cents and either agree or disagree as the situation requires.
I'm Potato Revan, everyone's favorite internet potato. I don't exist, and I am going to give a European perspective of excusism. Although I'm not European. Bite me.
And I'm for Vithia forever. If y'all have been here, you know it's my fucking channel. So I'm just gonna since it was you two's brilliant fucking idea, AW, either him or fucking nobody can pick this shit up and get it started.
I'll let nobody lead in here because I had to be reminded what the topic was earlier today. So I'm not
Fair enough.
Alright, well, I would like to open the discussion based on a small little story. We've all basically have run into people who let excusism get in their way. You've known them, we've known them, we have a PSA about it. But the more important thing is, when it comes to the field of hobbies, day-to-day work, and yes, politics, we run into those people who want to basically get into conversations and or arguments based on how would I put it in the best word, dog? what word you use
Yeah.
as a form of excusing themselves from taking any degree of action.
It's using nitpicking to undermine somebody's position and to provide an excuse for not taking action. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I've noticed this a lot over the various years. So, on a political standpoint, just give a little background. I am not a Republican. I've never been a Republican. I
hate you.
have been I have been a reluctant voter of that side because I don't believe in voting for unhinged maniacs, Gary Johnson. I mean that in a joking way. People should understand that. But one of the things that drove me nuts and was one of the reasons I never considered myself a Republican was I lived around a lot of Republicans, and the thing I always found annoying about them was you could say, let's get something done. Because all the people, you know, and this has probably been said billions of times, on the right of Mao aren't exactly on the people on the left of Mao's friends list.
Not
So
even
we should
fucking
actually
remotely.
step in.
Actually, there's a joke.
And you get the. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, there's a joke over here where it's anyone to the right of Jesus is evil.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's a way to put it.
You know, well, nobody. Let me guess what the response you got was, which is the usual Republican-controlled opposition helpless shrug. Oh, that wouldn't be very free market of us. We just need to enable the free market to just find these solutions for the glory of the free market.
I had a number of different responses very similar to that.
Yeah,
there
because that's
was
the go-to
the
Republican response by the old controlled opposition Republican Party.
the
The
neocons.
free market is just going to provide, right? When
Well, somehow everything just works out magically.
yeah, it's just like we're just not going to do anything. That's our platform. Is we're not going to do anything. We're just going to let the other side just walk all over us constantly. And you know what? The free market is going to sort this out. No, it won't. That's how authoritarianism works. Is it subverts? Is it takes over the free market? It makes it unfree.
The fuck?
Well, you know, when you're competing with sense and the competition is free stuff, usually the sense loses there.
Because
But I did
because
get a lot
fucking
of
lazy
different-
people.
Responses. They were similar to that. There was the classic "that can never happen here."
Yeah, tell it to us, really.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ireland.
Well, you know, that's not accurate. The people who are really the problem are X, Y, Z, Z, taco, whatever.
Taco.
Whatever it was that would end up putting some kind of obstacle between them and doing anything. And this is the problem I had, was
Shit.
you could go up with something like, hey, look, I'm an independent, but I can tell you your messaging is all wrong because you're not selling your ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And they would look at me and go, oh, well, you know, it's not my fault. These things sell themselves. I don't need to do it. Whatever excuse from them having a better argument or participating in an argument, or let alone doing anything,
Ugh.
would come up. And this is one of those things that you can find outside of politics fairly regularly.
Oh yeah, pretty fucking routinely, really.
And I can point to two of you and instantly say, so you both probably have really good examples of this. And that would be Favre and our warlord.
Oh yeah, well, you know, because our fucking jobs.
Yeah, this is endemic in the military. By the way, Farv, I'm getting told that we're a little bit quiet. Can you boost our volume on your end?
Yeah.
I-
Everyone's volume up a tad.
I can try and do it in the Discord at best. Give me just a second.
Let me move my mic a little bit closer. Is that better?
Hold on.
Well, I haven't said much.
Yeah, Kitala's been very quiet.
Yeah, I just remember last time we did this, I was very quiet. Now, I do have a different microphone set up this time, but it's I think you still need to boost to manually boost this on.
Josh, some of you are boosted to max already, so I'm working on that right now.
Up to where he just brought it up, it's a tiny bit hard to hear, but you can still hear it. So if you can't raise us up, just lower down the games file. I'm just
I might be able to do that from here.
Was I not coming across well?
No, you were coming across well. It's just that with the game that we're a little bit hard to hear.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
AW's volume is way down. Hold on a sec.
Yeah,
if you can boost me significantly.
Yeah, I'm just.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just switching between us, listening to both audios.
All right.
Yeah, this is just an early a part of shaking the kicking the rust off of streaming.
Exactly.
Okay, let me minimize that.
So keep things.
Just keep talking.
Still having something in there.
Yeah.
This is a problem that is almost universal. So you don't even need to apply politics to it. But it was something that started to really grind my gears, to borrow from Family Guy. In that I always see this with certain groups of people. Now, I've worked in a number of places and have been around the military long enough to basically have heard every version of excusism you could ever imagine. And yeah, I know it's not a real word, but I like it.
Whatever.
Well, actually, I was speaking of this. I've got a great example of this that happened when I was in. God, I think I was going through like the basic course. Actually.
Yeah.
In the military, and this is just a great example of how getting hung up on the details can just really destroy productivity.
No kidding.
So we had so in my class in the basic course, we had a bunch of Marines with us. Going to artillery school because they send their artillery officers to the Army's artillery school. They don't have a lot of artillery officers, so they don't want to like train them separately. So we were having a discussion about how the enemy was going to attack us, right? And what the instructor was saying was, okay, they're going to attack to expel us from this area, right? Mm-hmm. You all know the English language. You all know exactly what that would entail.
Yeah.
The enemy's trying to kick us out of an area.
Yeah.
Okay. A U.S. Marine had his synapses misfire. You can see those down. This dude, like, he had a short circuit between his freaking ears, and this guy asked, "What does expel mean doctrinally? What is the doctrinal task the enemy is accomplishing here?"
What the fuck? What does it sound like, jackass?
He was like, are they trying to like withdraw us from the area? Or is that what we're doing? Are they attacking to withdraw?
Good God.
And we had like a 10-minute long discussion on like the doctrinal dictionary.
Good God, why?
Most of that is bullshit anyways, because it's all...
Yeah, definitely.
It's people putting meanings on words that don't exist in English. And this, like, derailed, I mean, God forbid we'd done this for real instead of in training, right? This derailed productivity for a significant length of time, is when we could have been, I don't know, playing to fight a battle.
Fucking right.
10 minutes of productivity.
And you know what the idiotic thing is? So that phrasing, attack to withdraw, because expel isn't a doctrinal task. That tactical mission task by the enemy, it's like an enemy task that they could do to us. Attack to withdraw. That's in the doctrine now.
Oh boy.
That actually got
Just
implemented.
because this guy was too dumb to understand what the enemy trying to expel you from a region means.
Well, Kitala, you also have...
Go ahead.
No, you also have to remember that Shampoo has instructions. They are the people who are this stupid out there.
Yeah.
That is true, and also there is a state with, I shit you not, late warning labels on gas pumps telling you not to put it in your mouth or your ass.
Are you fucking serious? Now that one I hadn't heard of.
Oh, I'm serious. I am
Kentucky.
so fucking serious right now.
In the UK, there's a brand of sausages called dragon sausages, and they had to put a label saying this does not contain dragon.
Are you fucking serious? Really?
That's impressive.
Wow.
But yeah, this Marine, the two neurons in his brain were short-circuiting so hard. It was like there was an arc light inside of his skull.
Dear God.
I'm surprised that light wasn't coming out of his eye socket.
Well, to take this individual as an example, this is the exact person that prevents productivity.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is the person that acts as a lead weight around your feet while you try to get something done. And we've all encountered this human being, this human spurg, that has to pop his ass out of someplace and go, well, that's not how it would work. It should be something else.
Found it.
What?
And the crazy thing is the military encourages this because of again the doctrinal difficulty is you would be amazed at the amount of time is spent in an orders process. Trying to make a plan to fight the enemy, spent arguing over definitions.
Well,
I know all fucking about that.
I believe it was I don't remember the exact person, but there was a comment from a U.S. Navy personnel from World War II, in which that he stated for every American ship there was 22 typewriters.
Okay.
22 typewriters. While the average in almost every other Navy out there was 1. But there's an obsession, especially with the U.S. military, of paperwork.
Okay, yeah, now that makes more sense as a fucking statement.
And we've, especially just speaking of the military, we've incentivized this.
Unfortunately, because officers have all this shit that they can mandate or redirect or any number of other stupid things that is completely unnecessary.
Well, I was on the... Oh, go ahead.
So, given about some stupid facts from the military, I come from a military family. Ireland has a weird problem in our military. Okay? All the ranks are in Irish, and the Irish comes from the 1800s.
Oh, lovely.
That's nice.
Yeah, and you can't go up, say, Captain Warlord, it's good to see you, sir. You have to go up, Ishmael, and not get the rank wrong.
So they expect
wow.
everybody to address
Yep.
people in Irish, even though everybody in Ireland actually speaks English.
Yes, and some of the ranks are as long as German comprehensive words.
Oh boy.
Wow.
I
Like,
remember those
general roughly translates to warrior of utmost importance.
Fucking Christ.
I mean, I would like to have my rank be warrior of utmost importance, but that's in a foreign language. That's a little bit of a mouthful.
Yeah, it's really, really long, and as far as I know, Cameron is Kila Storak, and something along those lines, I'd have to go up Kila Storak and not get it wrong. And the thing is, people have been complaining about this since the foundation of the country.
I don't fucking doubt that. That's fucking ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is the strangest way of handling this stuff ever.
Simply to ignore it.
Yeah, well.
But this is a good example of what we're talking
Is this
about.
Is this something in the Irish Army that wouldn't have happened if your founding father there, whose name escapes me, hadn't been assassinated?
Yes.
Figures,
Michael
yeah.
Collins.
Yes, Michael Collins. Yes, if he had not been assassinated, this would not be a problem.
Yeah, because Michael Collins was an army man, and Michael Collins was fluent in Irish, but a load of his men weren't.
Yeah.
And all the people...
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I was going to say I think it's remarkable that Michael Collins was younger than I am when he was killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was assassinated. But the problem is, I'm not going to get into it, because we don't know who done it. So you can only theorize and things like that, and there's families who are affected on both sides, so it's like...
I'm just saying why I think it's remarkable he was 32 and had already created the startup army and freed his nation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he was...
tech startups. Well, it's not very often in the military you get to get into a startup.
You know, he's my cousin. He's my great grandmother's cousin.
Well, there you go.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, it does. That's also a good example of just how much getting into the nuance and the endless details and the protocols can actually handcuff people. And
Oh, fucking absolutely.
Normal communications, like, there's one reason, like, the US
And in some
military
cases, this is done deliberately for exactly that reason.
Yeah. They
Oh,
actually
yeah.
removed the 3-star general because nobody could say its rank.
Cool.
So now Ireland's top military general only goes up to 2 stars, or I believe our Air Force goes up to 2 stars and the Navy goes up to 3 stars. And all those ranks are in Irish.
Go figure.
Good grief.
Is this like one of the? Honestly, I want to know what his rank translate that as, because it's captain is warrior of supreme importance, and I'm wondering what the hell the general.
No, it's general.
That was general.
Oh, is that general?
Yeah.
Is captain like a leader from warband or something?
Hold on. So you just thought I'm going to have a look at these.
Well, at the end of the day, one of the more important elements to a lot of this
Yeah.
is that these are the kind of people who basically get in the way of anything being done. It
Abso-fucking-lutely.
should
Yeah.
110% be avoided. In fact, if you encounter these people, instead of sitting there and arguing with them,
Don't even fucking talk to him if you can avoid it.
cut them out, move around them, try to find people like you and make associations to get anything done. Because if you're going to try to build a house or get a barn put together, just for example, the last guy you want to be there is the one that's going to argue with the shape of the barn.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, the people who will just argue about anything for the sake of arguing. Honestly, I think a lot of this has to do with people not wanting to work.
Well, yeah,
Yeah?
that, yeah.
Like it's a management technique, or it's a bad management technique to, because you don't want to work, call a lot of meetings.
Yeah. So when I worked in the church, there was a lot of our stuff would literally require you to go out and get dirty.
Molly.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And
No.
now it
Uh-oh.
literally said on the contract, warning: you will come across dead bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
for
considering.
anyone out there just wondering, the church where I worked, the graves were open and all the skeletons were gathered around. So it was like, yeah, if you dig a little bit, you're going to come across the skull. So that didn't bother any of us. Like, it took us a few weeks to get adjusted to it, but after that, we were like, okay, just this is a person, just moving on.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
there's this big hole that had no safety equipment
What's wrong
around
with you?
it. Because everyone was like, okay, yeah, you can see this hole, yeah? You know you don't go over into the hole. This fucking girl, Susan, I swear to God, claimed that she nearly fell into it. She never went into the grass because she was scared that she'd walk on a bone.
Good God,
And
man.
Yeah.
And she claimed she almost fell into the hole in the middle of the lawn.
This was about half a mile into the big huge acres of land where this church was.
It's like this is
Right?
an active dig site here. On that.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
so
And-
so done with just people in general. Humanity is broken.
So she
Not
got
all of
a-
it, just too much of it.
So she was about 5'5", and she got a plastic cap put up to her waist and a big plastic lid that had to be raised up and down. What was in there was a famine dig going on, and this caused such problems that it took an extra 500,000 euros to remove it, and the big metal pipe going down after they realized, oh yeah, we can't get the diggers to go down.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because
Huh?
it probably made it really hot in there, I'm guessing.
No, the thing was, had an anti-fall thing, so there was literally you could sit on it, and the diggers are bigger than people, and they could not get the shovels down into
Oh,
the
shit.
holes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why did you
Yeah.
put a fence around it?
because the guy was her boyfriend, and he wanted to go over the top
Oh,
in
boy.
charge.
Uh-huh, right.
You know,
Yeah.
notice something. A lot of these stupid, asinine things that people do are quite frankly, most often done because a person is either family of the person running the show or they're dating the person running the show.
Often fucking times that is entirely fucking correct.
I mean, I actually had an argument with one guy because we actually excavated my own ancestor when we were there, and I actually had an argument over the pronunciation of his name.
Oh wow!
The pronunciation, and they were like, "Oh no, it's French." It's like, he's not French. How do you know? I'm like, we know he's not French, and they're like, well, we haven't done any paperwork, and I'm like, he's got my last name. He's my ancestor.
For fuck's sake!
It's like he's literally in my
Ollie!
clan.
Yeah.
Get rat.
Is it just the day of cat issues today?
Apparently, yes.
Yes.
I believe if this keeps going on, that we will hear a sharp meow as Kitala gets a new little fluffy mop.
No, I don't think so.
No. She's on my husband's desk now, and actually that's probably a better place for her because nothing that he's got over there can at this point be knocked over. Everything he's
Fair
got over
point,
there is
yeah.
in vehicle mode. Mine are not.
He hasn't figured out yet how to knock those completely off the desk.
Oh, Armchair.
They're too
If you
big for her to do
if
that.
you
I think.
look in the Discord, I literally posted the names of the ranks in the Irish Army and their literal translation. They're like English underneath it, and you can't say the English to them. So you couldn't walk up, Captain. You couldn't walk up to it. You literally have to say those words in Irish.
And that's ridiculous, because how many Irish people can't say those fucking words?
I can't. And I
Exactly.
went to school here. I mean, I can say one keen foot. I don't even know if that's the correct pronunciation. What dialect is this in?
Yeah, that's
Right.
a problem.
Is that
What if
Delta
you're,
or Delta?
yeah? What if you're using the crazy Irish, crazy island dialect?
Oh, sweet Christ. Oh my god, you mean it's for me, man. It's like,
Yeah.
sure. That dialect is, yeah.
The guy where you're talking to him and you're like, I'm pretty sure this dude is speaking English.
No, it's like,
Just like an extremely fast-paced version of English.
so my great uncle actually came from the island, and
Yeah.
when he'd be talking, he'd be there and he'd be like going up to my father's father, and he spoke Irish from the island,
Okay.
and he'd be there and he'd be like, Neil, yeah, it's from the command, it's in the face, come out to it, and I'd be like, what's going on? Are they making random noises at each other? And my father was like, I have no idea.
Oh man. AW's giggle, by the way, is probably the most infectious thing on the planet.
Yeah, if I ever do a recording with AEW giggle, I'm so using the Joker.
Yeah,
But you gotta get Favre to give you a really good belly laugh too. He sounds like freaking G1 Megatron, and it's amazing.
You know? But it's... And about, like, people making excuses and things like that, I used to always go to Comic-Cons before the plague started. And when you're there, you run into people who are purists. And I swear to God, as much of a nerd as I am and as I hate purists.
Yeah, well, they're fucking annoying.
Yeah. There was this guy there, he was new into Star Trek. And he turned around and he called the Galaxy class the Galactic class.
The Galactic class.
He was
That's
literally
brilliant.
watching Star Trek a month,
Oh,
right? And watching TNG.
gotcha.
And I turned around and I'm like, how long are you watching Star Trek? He's like, oh, a month. I'm like, oh.
Holy shit.
No, it's actually... Yeah, I'm like, oh no, it's actually the Galaxy class, I said. And I started going into my variants of, like, and things what I liked and everything like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, you should try Star Trek Online. It's not canon, but they've actually got shifts. And this guy turned around and he's like, if you play Star Trek Online, you're not a real Star Trek fan, because only real Star Trek fans accept what's going on television. Because see
Oh yeah, well,
only...
tell me what you have to say about that if you watch fucking Picard, you cockbag.
Right.
The biggest canon violation that exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean how the stuff on television isn't internally consistent anymore? Sure. But
At all,
okay.
yeah.
Woof, yeah.
What a dick.
Like, there are certain franchises that I will fight to the death to hold my purism on, because some franchises just, you have to be a purist.
Well,
There are certain things.
well, you and I personally have seen what happens when somebody doesn't. IDW turned Transformers into a dumpster fire, and that was after Marvel fucked it up.
Yeah, in the fucking 80s.
Yeah.
Anyways, we've had that rant about it, doesn't
Yeah, that's fine. Just a good example, though.
This is almost one of those things, like, it almost seems to me like Transformers has been a dumpster fire for, like, all of its existence except for about 3 years.
Since the movie. Since the movie.
Since the movie, because here's the thing, I know I've said this a lot, but the movie was where Marvel got involved, and the movie suffers extremely heavily from Marvel meddling. Like,
Yeah.
here's the thing, Hasbro themselves, you ask their toy department, they don't like the movie. They do not admit that the entire last half of that movie even happened. You just ask their toy division.
Yeah,
They
well, it
will
was
not
not their
acknowledge
fucking
it.
idea.
No.
Oh, I'm going to say something,
Yeah.
and we may actually hear Kitala running out of her house. Kitala,
Damn.
What?
half a mile from my house is where they actually make most of the Transformers for the planet.
I mean, and?
If you come here, I'll help you break in.
Don't do that.
Don't say it on a recording.
We're not breaking into Hasbro's manufacturing plant, you goofus.
Well, I absolutely hate purists and things like that. I can't stand it. Like, I welcome anyone. I don't like the Disney franchise, but I know people who do. Right? And I just don't talk to them about the Disney franchise, the Star Wars.
It's because you know nothing good can come from it, really, you know?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the thing is, I will say that I like The Mandalorian. Now, we know that we have disagreements on The Mandalorian.
Yes.
But I'm not going to be debating. I'm just saying that I like The Mandalorian, and I love Clone Wars. And when I went to watch Bad Batch, I was hilariously disappointed. So I got 3 episodes in
Oh,
Yeah.
and stopped watching.
I'm so
and I know,
sorry.
Me too.
yeah, and I know people who turn around and they're like, Bad Batch is the best thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I stand there and I'm like,
Fucking Omega.
yeah, oh no, it's worse than that. So people on Star Wars Facebook groups I'm in are like, oh, I would love to see the clones from Bad Batch in The Mandalorian, and I'm like,
No!
"They're dead."
They're dead, you morons!
Well, not only are they dead, Bad Batch completely nuked the entirety of Bad Batch canon
God help me,
just
yes
so
they
Disney
did.
could have shits and giggles.
So they
And
could
they-
have a
they made-
stupid female clone that doesn't make any damn difference.
Oh, they made one of them, Wrecker, the big strong one.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's basically special needs.
I know.
Of course they did, because Disney are incapable of doing anything legit.
Yeah, like he has a little teddy bear called Lulu, right?
This sounds like the cringiest thing.
Oh man, you don't even fucking know. The shit's a fucking... Everybody's been singing the praises of this
Star Wars review.
Yeah. It happens sometimes. It's Kitala and I's fault, so we got it going with fucking Transformers.
Yeah, I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. If you want to talk about Bad Batch, let's just team it up with escapism.
Okay, so
Disney has assassinated it.
I mean, that's
think
not
about
wrong.
like that. Like I've known people, and they're there, and it's like they don't understand that the clones have accelerated aging. Is this something that people don't know anymore?
Well, it's because...
People don't understand it.
But
They
you
don't
gotta remember that a lot of
understand
people
it.
came in at Disney Star Wars. That's the other problem. Because that was stuff that was established in the Clone Wars and the prequel trilogy.
The prequels, the Clone Wars, and the EU established that. Disney just pretends it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
actually
And
literally
these
dealing
people-
with
You can tell who came in with Disney Star Wars
because they don't know
who knows
anything.
that and who doesn't.
Yeah, we're actually literally dealing with the Raylos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
I actually know a Raylo.
Oh God.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
F.
I literally...
In the chat
I-
for Owen's sanity.
Yeah,
The little bit there was left.
Wait, I had any to begin with, but I was there and I was talking because I'm there and I'm like, no, they can't be this, like, the Raylos are there and they're like, I ship Raylo, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what now? And it was literally as if I had someone saying, I beat babies. When it's like, I'm like...
Farv and I have our own issues with shipping.
Oh, yeah.
There are legit certain ships that if you ship this, I'm sorry, you're a horrible person and you should feel very, very, very bad about yourself.
I can name 3 just off the top of my head. It's, for those of you who are Final Fantasy fans, the freaking thing where anybody but Sid is shipped with anyone but his wife, and it's this obsessive thing. It's the thing where the Winchester brothers from Supernatural are constantly being shipped together despite being fucking brothers, or the Starscream, or the fucking Starscream and Megatron weirdness with the fucking Tumblrite Transformers quote-unquote fans.
Can I give you my one? One of the ones that really pissed... After the last Airbender cast, now I ship Toph and Sokka when they're older.
Okay.
When they're adults.
Okay.
I mean,
Right?
as teenagers, they could still get together, but, like, shipping, just keep it
No,
in
they
your
can't.
bedroom.
It has to be
This
adults. It has to be adults because Lynn's father is not Sokka, so they had to go out together after Lynn.
Oh, shit. That ain't good.
Yeah. But the thing is, people are there and they're, like, really enhancing the way that Toph looks. They're making her look like she's a 30-year-old woman when she's a 12-year-old girl.
Well, there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with fan art when you're drawing the character like if they were older, you know, like if this is what the character would look like when they're older.
I'm talking sexual stuff. I'm talking doing sexual stuff, like with big adult breasts on her as a 12-year-old girl.
Okay, if she's supposed to be 12, then you're just fucking weird.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's that part of the internet.
Yeah, well, it is pretty much that part of the
This is
internet.
this is like horny internet and also weirdness.
Very
Yeah,
much
I
weirdness.
mean,
This is stuff that some of these people should honestly be reported for. They should be on fucking watch lists for.
Yeah, probably. Anyways, guys, we are
Yeah.
far off.
So far off topic. I didn't start it. Not this time.
It was partially
Nobody
my
wanna-
fault.
That's fine. Mr. Nobody, do you want to bring us back around to what the actual ostensible
yes,
topic
please God do.
Owen would like
Oh.
to stop seeing Nightmare
I
Fuel.
realize we could probably stream about Transformers for about 100 hours, but that's not a good
Well,
do that
actually,
tomorrow.
Oh.
no, actually, don't do that. Don't steal that because I'm actually, when Kitala is
Feeling better.
more of herself. Yeah, and
We actually are
that-
planning something for that.
Yeah, we're actually either planning a recording or we're going to do a stream on Potato Revan. But I'll chill my channel later. It's just that nobody don't want you to rob my idea.
Okay, I'll still.
Please.
But to bring
Shit.
it back on task, I can give both ends of these, and they are embodied with 2 of my family members,
Brian Rubsha, it's Streets of Rage 4, to answer your question.
which is a fantastic game. There's 2 instances, and this would be my father and my brother.
Yeah,
Now, my father was a career military man, sergeant major. He was friends with the sergeant major of the army. We actually were familiar with a number of generals on a personal level.
Oh my.
But my father is the type of person who would sit there and argue with you about something so inane and stupid because he wanted to control the flow of how things work so he could take credit for it, that you would spend a day in an argument about nothing. So a really good example of this was we'd been given a cage for one of our outside dogs. So it was like a fencing cage. And it was odd number. So there's no way it would ever sit on an even platform.
Yeah.
Right. So I went down because he had a digging habit and we didn't want him to get out and terrorize the neighbors' we went out and we got a number of these concrete slabs. And the problem was, I ended up spending an entire day arguing with this man about how there was no way to set the concrete slabs down that it would be flush with the odd-numbered fencing cage. An entire day was wasted in an argument about this.
And this was typical with this man.
And then he walked off, leaving me to do the work all by myself.
You know, just because it's another example, bring up the door. We were all there for that one.
Well, I can hit up the door later. Then there's the other side of this. There's my brother. So, now, my father went out of the military with, what was it, his disability? His medical, what was it? The reason he got out of the army. Okay. Well, he was med boarded out.
Yeah.
So we had a spot in the backyard he wanted to put a garden.
Okay.
So I talked to my brother and it's like, hey, I can't go out and just do this whole thing. It's going to take all day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need you to rotate out with me so I can handle some other things. And he spent a day arguing me with the semantics of what a garden was.
Ha!
Wait,
For an entire
seriously?
day.
Yes, fucking...
That's like somebody who, well,
this was
knowing
some...
your brother, that-
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So he spent an entire day arguing with me about the semantics of a garden. Well, what really is a garden? I really
Oh
think
my
it's more of
God.
like, it's planters, and sometimes you could even call grass a garden in the right instances.
Okay, dude. Here's your fucking shovel. Your job is to dig from here to Tuesday.
Yeah, this was literally just him, like, wasting time.
Because he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's either people who don't want to do something, so they'll just argue with you instead of freaking doing it, or people who they're control freaks. So if you have an idea, and even if
They
it's a
have
good
to
idea,
make
they
it
don't want you to
theirs.
execute. Yeah, so they're going to argue against you until you do it their way.
Exactly. Or it wasn't
And
their
then
idea.
so they can
Well, there's
come
the
in.
there's the side thing, which was a big problem with his pop, was if it wasn't their idea, they didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Well, and this is a major problem with this kind of attitude. Like Warlord was saying, it's people who want to control it so they can take credit for it, and people who don't want to do the work. And they don't want other people getting any credit for doing the work that they want it to handle.
Mm-hmm.
So these are kind of people have this nasty habit of getting in the way of anything good coming from anyone's effort in one way or another. And this affects even like day-to-day hobbies. Like I was saying with the Warhammer thing. It's the guy who sits there and he snobbishly talks to the other person like they're an idiot, telling them how stupid they are, because that's a lot easier for him to do than actually teaching them the game.
Or
It's a
stops to
lot
do
less
something...
effort than getting them interested.
Or the guy we would encounter who would stop instead of doing it and criticize how they painted their miniatures.
Oh yeah.
Oh jeez.
Well, actually, you want to hear a story about this? I've got a story about people talking a lot because they don't want to freaking do something.
Have at
Oh
it.
god. Go ahead.
So this was 2013. First Lieutenant Armchair Warlord so here I was in Hawaii, and our
You
battalion
cocksucker.
commander at the time gave every lieutenant in the battalion the task of restoring an old field gun this unit had, because it was completely junked out, and in the back of the motor pool was a kind of a cool field gun. It was like a 1902 3-inch gun.
Hey, nice.
But
Interesting.
it was just it'd been sitting out in the elements in Hawaii since about 1902,
Oh god.
and it was junked out.
Yeah, I would
beyond
bet after
rough.
that fucking long.
Yeah, it was a wreck. But anyway, so he gave all 37 lieutenants in that artillery battalion a task to restore this gun. Well, so here I am, Lieutenant Warlord, And I'm like, okay, well, let me go call a meeting with all the lieutenants, and we'll freaking go out to have some food and figure out how we're gonna do this. So, go out to the bar, order myself some wings, order myself a beer, tell everybody else to show up. Nobody shows up.
Of course.
And then, lo and behold, so I'm like, well, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to start working on this by myself. Because everybody else, they were, like, people would talk about this gun, right? People would have discussions about the gun. They would, try to figure out what to do about the gun. But you know what? No. You know what none of them were willing to do?
No actual discussion on getting the gun done with?
Yeah, there was no willingness whatsoever to actually go to the motor pool with spray paint and tools and, wood and stuff and fix the gun.
Yeah.
There was the one person out of the 37 lieutenants who did all the work on that thing to get it to the point where it was, up on wheels again and looked nice and was rolling and was like a display piece again, was me, because I actually went down to the motor pool and, restored the thing. and like, as I was doing this, it was remarkable, because people would be like, okay, well, you're doing this thing, so you can get all the credit for this. We'll do the wheels. Like, we'll contract the wheels out. We'll get donations.
Contract?
And yeah, like there were like conspiracy theories these guys were coming up with. They're like, look, there's a guy on the windward side, and like he does wagon wheels. We'll talk to him. And of course, nothing got done on this. So I, got some 2x4s and like carved them into wagon wheels and put them on the damn thing, and it worked. But like, oh my, it was just like an illustration of just people want to just talk about something and not do it. Because what I think they all thought was like, okay, look, Commander wants us to do this. Like, he's not going to be in here forever, so we're just going to blow him off for a year, and then he's going to switch out, and then we're not going to have to deal with the gun.
Fucking right.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, that's usually what they're doing.
Yeah. Because of course, he has much bigger things to do than worry about some side project he gave the lieutenants.
Shh. And of course, that's exactly what they're counting on, so blah, blah, fucking blah.
Yeah.
When it's also what can bite you on the ass.
Yep.
Especially if he's using that as a way to test you out.
I'll tell you, I did get an Archon out of it.
Nice.
Geek here above us says, bet that was scary to shoot the first time after fixing it.
I didn't get into the firing condition, but it was, I basically restored to the point where we could put it back on display.
Gotcha.
It was more like what you'd see if you go to, a lot of towns in the U.S. have a little, like, display tank or artillery piece.
Yeah.
It's kind of more like a showpiece than anything.
A museum piece.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah. Like, the city where my mother was born, they have, like, a Sherman on display in the park there. It'll never run, it'll never shoot, but it looks like what it's supposed to.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what it was basically doing. But yeah, this is a problem, and well, one important thing I think we should definitely cover is what you do about this. And I have a great deal of experience, and I can tell you what it is. Don't waste your time with these people. Get up, get out, do it yourself.
Yeah.
And if you people who will get up and get out with you, you're going to find that there are a lot more people who will do that just because you're doing it. And the people who are going to be useless to you to begin with are going to remain useless to you.
One of the biggest...
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, something I actually discovered sort of in my time in the Army was like, I'd say 90% of the time, it's easier and faster to do it the hard, obvious way than to spend all your time trying to figure out some way to do it that's easy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, we're just going to do this with brute force and ignorance, and like, okay, everybody just like load the stuff onto the damn truck instead of like, we're going to go get a pallet and get a forklift, and we'll be here for 2 hours waiting for a forklift.
And another thing we learned real quick when I was in first Cav is don't ever get nobody involved that isn't already. Because we found out if we ever want to get anything done in our section, we need to just have our damn section do it. Because it got doubly bad when you involved anybody else.
Everything
God,
becomes more complicated with more people.
Exactly.
Yeah, or when you have people who are just like unmotivated to do it. So you have people supposed to be helping out, but they just disappear as soon as you turn your back on them.
One of the biggest things I'm getting put off with is photography.
Yeah.
Because of this exact thing.
Yeah.
Everyone expects you to have 6,000-7,000 euros worth of equipment.
Yeah, fuck off. You can't just do that.
Yeah. I have a 600 euro camera with a 300 euro lens. An 18 to 55 millimeter lens. Right?
Yep.
This is a good 24 megapixel camera. It's amazing. But the thing is that they're like, oh yeah, you need an 18 to 400 telescopic lens ranging in at 1,000 euros. You need this, you need that. It's like,
dude, fuck off, man. I'm not a fucking professional here.
You have DSLR, you could shoot a movie on.
Even professionals don't necessarily need that. Like, if you're just taking snapshots and stuff, you don't need that.
Like, fucking wow, man.
People being stupid.
I wonder what Johnny. Go ahead.
I was saying, you know what? You can use your damn camera phone and take pretty pictures. Like,
well, I wanted to ask. Who was requesting that you had that?
The camera club.
Oh, bullshit, man. The camera club wanted you to have all that bullshit? What, were they all rich or something?
What is the use of the camera club?
The camera club enters into photography competitions. The camera club goes all around all these different places. The camera club, if you're in the camera club, you usually end up going and getting photography jobs, which I wanted to do. Right? They say, oh, we'll teach you how to do this, we'll teach you how to do that. So you could go be like a nature, historical, whatever photographer.
Apparently, mostly what they teach you is how to be a big fucking spoiled moron.
And you live in Ireland, right?
Yes, which has a lot of history to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I would suggest is ignore them. Go out, take pictures of historical places and nature there, then sell it to U.S. calendar makers.
Yeah.
The problem with that is one of the big huge things is they all edit, and I don't. I like to shoot raw.
Yeah.
So I like, and they're like, oh yes, as you can see, it's the highlighted and that, and I'm there, and I'm like, but yeah, like I have a photography page. It's just for you guys. I'm not going to advertise it.
Okay.
Right? It's just like pictures of my friends, pictures of this, like pictures of castles that I've seen when I go on vacation, pictures I'll take over there.
Okay.
Take pictures of your local pub, and then send them as samples.
I'll show you after the stream my photography page.
I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, I know, but one of the main problems at the moment is transport. I don't drive, and I also walk with a crutch. As well, so getting around is kind of hard right now. But also it's like the photography club. It's like, oh, we'll take it to these like really brilliant locations, bring it down into caves, bring it down to historical sites, beautiful things, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want to
go. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, man, like I'm sure walking around Ireland, there's probably enough history, and you're under block to. Again, like nobody was saying, probably keep calendar makers in the U.S. employed for like 10 years.
Well, actually, in my town, there is the walls that stopped Oliver Cromwell from taking the city. There is a 1,000-year-old tower. There is the Bishop's Palace. There is the medieval museum, which has the only surviving sets of high mass vestments, which I have pictures of myself.
Nice.
High mass vestments outside of Russia, right?
Oh.
That actually survived the Protestant purge, as the Catholics call it here. Then there is a church from 1321 in a very small area, and you can I have literally lent on a building that is 1,200 years old, and I was leaning on it whilst playing with a cat. It's like, this is so natural to me.
Well, here's a good example of some of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Is that this club is giving you a bunch of excuses and expectations before you ever do anything, where they really should be like, hey, if you're a member, we're going to take you to these places. But instead, they're putting obstacles in the way to try to prevent you from doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Because honestly, just half of what you listed, casually taking images of them and then sending them to places, and it sounds like you have a decent camera.
I do.
That would be pretty popular, because a lot of people in the U.S. are never going to be able to afford to travel like that.
Fucking exactly.
Let alone know where any of it is. So it would be a big seller, and that's one thing I hate, is that you have these individuals in these groups who put a bunch of roadblocks in the way.
It's a bunch of preventative bullshit. Well, it's a bunch of preventative road blocking bullshit because they don't really want competition is all it's about. Well, they don't want to have to do anything. They don't want to have to compete with somebody who's willing to do the actual work.
Product with passion.
Yeah.
Yes. So so nobody, could you look in the Discord, like where we're talking, and tell me, I'm uploading a photo, tell me what you think of that.
Okay, give me a second. Oh, sorry, I saw the gas thing for a second. I didn't see that. I think it's nice. All I would do is, if I was going to send it as a sample, is cut the snowman out.
Oh, yeah.
Like, do some force perspective there to like take the weird restaurant on the right hand side of that with the snowman out of the
well, this is actually Christmas. Hold on.
If you got like, you went around like evening, so it was a little bit of a U in the sky, and took a picture of that as well. But I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
And see, there's a difference between like pointing some out that you can improve and just being an asshole and saying, "Well, you have all the wrong equipment."
Well, I'm not saying.
No, I'm talking about what they did.
I didn't finish what the Camera Club also demanded.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
€500 a year membership fee, and
fuck
you pay for
right off. Fuck you.
You pay for your own travel. You pay for your own board.
Okay, hold up. That's nothing but a money sink. That's an elitist fucking bunch of rich assholes that are just looking to milk money out of new members.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pyramid scheme.
No fucking right.
It really does.
Jesus.
And
Var lurks nearby.
I wanted to join this so much.
I think you were better off without him.
Yeah, I just looked at it, and the thing is, it's like, when I'm there and I'm looking and I'm like, I just want to go and have fun. I would literally rather go somewhere with, say, we meet up, and I'd literally rather go somewhere with you guys and just be like, oh my god, look at this.
Well, yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Because you're in it for the fun. You're not in it to be a snob. And that's the problem.
Yeah. I just going around just for fun. Like, hold on. Here's a photo I took of a guy at Comic-Con. So let's see if I can actually upload this. Fucking hell, my internet is slow.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it's 19 seconds left.
Jeez.
So...
Anyway, go on, Josh, while he's doing that. Or,
whichever,
yeah.
One other example I can make on...
And incidentally, I was here for this one.
Yeah.
Is, even my mother congratulated me on pointing out the differences with my father. But this is a good example of the problems with some of this. And this is my father again. Now, my father got in this home in Ohio, fairly cheap. But there had been an extension added to the back. I complained about it a lot because the roof didn't quite meet at the top, so there's a bit of a leak. Of all the things he focused on with this house, he focused on the door to the driveway.
Yeah.
And repeatedly complained about it and complained about it and complained about it. So I went, okay, we'll do something. A year passed.
Yeah.
I told him, do something. Another year passed. And he finally got irritated enough that he's like, okay, I'm going to pull the door out, which he did.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to get a new one.
Oh, and there's where the nightmare really started.
So, he's pulled the door out. There's a giant hole in the side of his home. And I said, you're measuring it wrong. You don't want to measure the hole.
Now, before you get into the weeds with that, explain to them why you knew that.
Okay. Throughout the years, I'd had a number of different jobs. But one of the things I studied was I studied construction tech and carpentry. As well as I also did drywalling, flooring, roofing, so on and so on, not to bore people. So I had experience. You're welcome. Doing these things. Well, the problem was he measured the hole exactly.
Oh no.
Yup.
So if you know anything
Oh
about
no.
You already picked it up.
it, your door frame is never exactly the size of the hole because there needs to be adjustments.
Yeah, because the door in order to close has to be smaller than the
But Mr. fucking Wizard Know-It-All motherfucker here.
Oh no no.
So he goes to a place and he doesn't just buy a door there. He special
my God.
orders one.
He ordered a special fucking door, but didn't make sure the measurements were right. An expensive door.
$2,000 on this door.
Why?
Because he's an idiot.
Because
Clearly.
he didn't want to listen to me. He had no experience doing any of this. Ever.
Not in the slightest.
And I'd repeatedly gone there to help him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, look.
Like, both of us literally took time out of our fucking lives to fucking help with this dumbass door.
So
Okay, this is gonna be terrible. I'm a very, very, very terrible person, and that is the point at which I would have washed my hands of it and gone, okay, have fun.
Well, this is bearing in mind that I had fucking, how many miles did I travel to get over there when this shit went down?
Oh God.
a couple hundred.
I was over there to visit, and this bullshit comes up.
jeez.
Yeah.
Oh geez, I am so sorry.
So we're hanging out in the driveway because I was like, okay, well, you don't want to measure it that way. I'm going to do it the way I am because I know what I'm doing. I was
Okay,
blank in the
asshole.
army, and I'm like,
Bullshit,
okay.
dude. Whatever.
So he goes, he orders his door, and he has it delivered. So I'm eating a pizza, and there's this door sitting there in the driveway.
Fucking hours. While
And
he's remeasuring shit and trying to figure out how he can cut the door frame to fit the door.
Yeah. So what's his solution? His solution is to jimmy it in.
Oh no.
Yeah, fucking seriously.
So he manages
God.
to force this thing into the hole.
He cracked the door frame.
Within a day, it it cracked down the center.
Oh my god.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was when it would rain, water would come into the house.
Yep.
That is beautiful.
And the roof began bowing. Because he displaced part of the support.
Because he couldn't quit arguing and wasting time and just being a general jackass. He had to be fucking right.
So before I had left officially, because I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I was like, how's your door working out? And he looked at me and he shut the door. Because there's this gigantic crack that was running all the way up it. And that's part of the other end of this whole problem. It's not just the people who argue and keep you from doing something. It's the people who will argue up until the point where they have to do something, and they will do it so piss poor that you'll never try to get them to do it again because they don't want to do it right. Because they don't want to do the work to begin with.
Because they don't want to do nothing.
And that is part of the problem with this, and why I urge people, if you meet these people, don't let them dissuade you from getting something done. Push on, try to do it yourself as best you can. Find other people who are willing to work with you, because these people will never ever be helpful, and you'll find them everywhere.
I'm actually
Yeah.
going to. I'm
Go
actually
around
going
them
to
and
say
get
something.
helpful
What's up?
When I was actually creating my YouTube channel, a guy we know who used to be in our Discord, a certain captain,
Oh yeah.
tried to control my channel. But when I was there, Armchair, Kitala, Farv, all gave me constructive stuff. And then when a friend of mine passed away, I shut my channel down for a while.
Yeah.
And then before I was coming back, Kitala was like, "Oh yeah, what have you done it like this? Maybe done it like this." My best friend was behind the scenes, and she's like, "Maybe if you try and not be personality, don't try to be Doomcock. Just try to do this, do that, blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
And then I went from having 20 subscribers to 150.
Which I still can't manage that, so congratulations.
So I wore myself out. I'd go on to people's live streams, and I'm like, "Hi, I'm here. Play with me.
Please give me things, I need it.
Please give me subs. I have no friends."
I'm interrupting, but I'm straight beating motherfuckers with a fish in this game for a minute.
Wait, where? What? I need to see this. Are you still fighting?
I was slapboxing motherfuckers with a giant fish.
He's using Sherry with a giant. like, just pick up a sushi tuna. She's using it as a weapon.
Shit, I can't find the link.
Oh no.
Oh, there it is.
So, though the chandelier was taken with the DLSR,
Yeah.
but those 1, 2, 3, wait, how many? So all the last photos I just posted, except the DLSR, are without the DLSR. They're pre-DLSR days.
Oh, okay.
The chandelier is with it, and but that's my city.
Oh, that chandelier is beautiful. Let me look at it.
It reminds me of
was
the
taken
city in
in-
Germany I lived in.
Nice.
That river is really beautiful.
That river is actually nicknamed America River. You wanna know why? Because a load of people leaving Ireland to freedom went up it.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense.
A load
Yeah.
of people. What now? Sorry. Cut
A
out
load-
on my end.
Oh.
Well, you don't get to listen then.
Americans went there and conquered this river for America.
Wow.
So the river that I just posted in the Discord, when a lot of Irish were going to America, because the big ships in the big ports were people had to get there
Yeah.
somehow. So they used
Right.
to go up that river coming from Dublin. That's heading down the way. That actually I'm moving on the train with my current DLSR. That's on the train going at over 100 miles an hour.
Is it?
Wow. That is
Yeah.
impressive.
Nice.
Really impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And that, so sorry, it was.
It's
yeah.
okay, man.
So they'd then go down the river, and then they'd go on to the bigger ships, and they'd go to America, which Ireland, like you've helped us out. You were like freedom and things like that. So that river has the nickname the American River.
Well, that makes sense to me.
Yep.
Yeah, but I took that camera, the one with it going up the way. I took that with a 16 megapixel camera. In my a pocket camera. The little church was taken with the church appearing over the buildings. That bit one there, Henry the VIII. Right, actually was in there, and that is where he made my city into a royal city.
Oh.
And that is still there, and people ignored because this is so common to us.
Well.
Like, that is the main Catholic cathedral. See, Kitala, Catholic churches are pitiful. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Wow.
He's remembering all of the really terrible things I've shown him with freaking postmodern architecture.
It's a problem.
Wishing it didn't exist.
It's a problem. It's a problem we can get into another time because we
I
will.
also believe that Kitala would be a really good nun.
I don't think she agrees with you.
I would not be a good nun.
I think she would probably be a terrible.
Yeah, sorry. Before we derail, you want? Nobody want to
Bro.
bring us back around?
Okay. Well,
Sure, yeah.
I think we've covered the topic pretty well, and we've given some decent stories. Honestly, again, I would like to encourage people to not let these types of people derail you from doing something.
No, because that's what they're after a lot of time. Because if they derail you, then they don't gotta fucking deal with it.
Yeah,
They don't
Well, and
have
if they... Well, there's another thing, too. These people are generally people who have done nothing with their lives and feel really, really shitty about themselves, as well they should. The problem is, a lot of the time what they're trying to do is trying to make you feel bad about yourselves the way they feel about themselves.
Sometimes...
Don't
Yeah,
let them
they can
do
feel
that
better.
to you.
Like you guys all see, except for you, nobody, and it's non-personal. It's just I've interacted more with these guys, but
Fine.
like I often like they might be like a little bit sick, and it's like I'll just go into the DMs. Hey, are you okay? How are you feeling? Did you eat? Did you sleep? I often check up on Kitala and
Yeah.
Barv and that, and be like, how did you sleep? Did you eat well? Like, how did you do? How are you feeling today? What are you doing? And
Oh, yeah.
like, that's because I actually care about you guys.
Yeah, our favorite potato here, he is absolutely our favorite mom friend as well.
He's a really caring guy.
Well,
That's
and
why people should subscribe to him.
I've met enough people, and I actually used to be part of a friend group where it turns out I was only a Saturday friend.
Yikes.
Oh.
Really fucking really.
Seriously.
Jesus.
And it took me years to realize it, but I was there
wait,
one day.
So what do you mean by Saturday?
Literally Saturday friend.
It's
Serious.
the friend that you would have on occasion, mostly to make you feel better.
On
Yeah.
a Saturday. Yes.
Like when you were
On the
bored
other
on the
Saturday.
weekend, you just come and hang out with this person because they're there. That kind of
It's
bullshit.
like a
Yeah.
weekend girlfriend.
Yeah.
And there was one point where one of my friend's mothers went in and she started booking the holidays, and she's like, "Oh yes, you can go and you can book the holidays. Oh, Pat, what would you think?" And he's like, "Okay, I'll go and ask Tommy," and I'm just sitting right there in front of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, "Okay, cool story, bro."
And
But
then you walk away.
Fucking right.
oh yeah, no, it was a really stupid argument that, and I'm just like, okay, I'm done, and I just walked away, and I found my best friend, and then I found ye losers.
That sounds about nice.
Nice.
You're welcome. I mean every vowel of it.
I bet he fucking do.
But yes, I'd like to encourage people, if you feel like something needs to be done and you have an idea to get it done, go ahead and try to do it yourself. Don't let other people discourage you, because a lot of times those people don't want you to do something, like it's been mentioned a few different times by a couple of us, because they don't want to be faced with the fact that they were the ones that chose to sit down.
Yeah.
And you'll find yourself in a hell of a lot better company and happier for it.
Hey,
And that's
actually,
definitely...
so that
And
that
like there's
person.
a go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, there is just a. I mean, if you gotta do something by yourself, you know what? You eat the elephant one bite at a time. Like, sometimes things are easier without help that isn't help.
That is true. If an odd metaphor.
Well, it is an old one.
Oddly enough, that person who used to be in our Discord actually, on many occasions, kept trying to tell me to leave there, that you're not worth it, that you're cunts and everything like that, and I'm just there like,
Yeah, that figures.
That
You
sounds
mean the
about
guys?
right.
You mean the guys who we just watched the movie with? You mean those guys? And he's like, yeah, we should leave them. They don't really care about you. And I'm like, cool story, dickweed.
Some people are just plain useless, and I've
Yeah.
never understood why they, first of all, are useless. Second of all, want to stay useless.
Or
Like, I
why they feel the
never
need to, like,
understood that.
interfere with anything else other people do. It's like none of their fucking
Well,
business
there's,
even.
Yeah,
There's
they
an
just
old,
follow
uh, old saying my grandfather like, misery loves company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
There's
that's
some
another.
people, they're just miserable all their freaking lives, and they don't know anything, any way to exist other than being miserable.
Clearly
There's
not.
Yeah,
really, really-
and then they just absolutely do not want to be not
No.
miserable, too.
No, it doesn't
really,
seem like
really
it.
old saying over here. Not many people use it, but I like looking up old stuff, and it's basically
fine.
like, people like to build their own jail cells, one brick at a time. It's
Not
just that you
wrong.
have to realize, you just have to realize what they're doing and step out of there before they seal you in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing is that some of these people enjoy making you miserable with them.
Yes.
And the unfortunate thing is that a lot of these people who are very unproductive and negative like to see you get dragged down with them.
Yeah.
It's the reason why you don't put lids on crab pots, because the crabs will pull each other down so that they can't escape.
Also true.
That's
Yeah.
just stupid.
They're also delicious.
Well, this is
Right.
also
Yeah,
true.
really. Love me some crab right now.
And now we're gonna roll into a
Actually,
full-on
not that big a
dissection
fan of crab.
Wow, I'm kind of
one
surprised.
squad of dudes.
Not my
No.
favorite shellfish.
So what you're saying, Arms, is that you love crabs right now.
That's terrible. Goddamn.
Wow, sir.
I did literally
Oh,
say
shit.
that, so yes, I would love to eat delicious Dungeness crab right now. That would be amazing.
Yeah, but actually, if I've said this, if you came over here, my uncle and my cousin both have fishing boats. If you came over here, I would literally get you fish that is still wriggling from the ocean.
Sounds delicious.
I would be perfectly happy with this.
I'd be tempted to try and get on a fucking fishing. I ain't doing deep sea fishing in forever.
No, this is I don't know if you call it deep sea fishing. They're only licensed to go in the. There's a big U shape, about 18 miles, a big U shape, and it's within the beach area.
That makes sense.
I don't know what type of fishing you call that, but that's where they're allowed to fish.
Well, I guess you just call that fishing.
Probably just where they're
Well, they have
Yeah.
it in Irish territorial waters, so they have to stay within that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
That
no,
would be my
it's
guess.
they're not the big deep sea fishing boats, so they can't.
I think
go
they're only
out.
allowed to fish off like like along that immediate
Yeah.
coastline.
Oh, I'm not saying that they're the big trawlers. I'm just saying that they sounds like they have more of a basic commercial fishing license, like what we have, where you have the
Yeah.
smaller boats that go out. And they have to
I know
stay
my
within a
cousin has
certain
what's
amount.
called a personal license.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds very close to it.
I think it's
Yeah,
I think
not
it's
a-
similar to what you can get over here.
Yeah, it's for the smaller boats, which is actually perfectly fine. Deep sea is just a little bit too crazy, so I'm okay with that kind of fishing. I just didn't want to get eaten by that Jaws guy. He sounds like a bad joke.
Good God.
I mean, like we could put Kitala into a mermaid costume and throw her over the edge, and while she swims up to a boat, people
for
are like,
fuck's
"My
sake.
God, it's a mermaid!"
You really want to die, don't you?
But with
Actually, there
OnlyFans
are
showing all
people
the
who
fun
do
things
that
off,
at
what can I do?
Renaissance fairs.
Oh, I know. I'm aware of them. But doing that in the ocean would be a terrible fucking idea.
It really would.
So you can get like those monofins for your legs.
Yeah, you
Just,
can.
like,
Yeah.
Pretty much. Oh, shit.
also, revenue. You see what I put in the chat?
Oh my lord.
Hold on now. In the Discord or in the YouTube?
In the YouTube chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, a discussion on comparative fishing regulations between the US and the EU. Yeah.
Well, we've
Actually-
transformed this into a commercial conversation.
Actually, there's 3 regulations in Ireland. There is the personal regulation, the Irish regulation, and the EU regulation. The EU fishing regulation says very little on the size of where it is. The Irish fishing goes out to 100 miles from the coast of Ireland.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
But,
Kitala, look in the Discord. I just found a gif of you swimming back to the boat.
Oh, for crying
We,
out loud.
Yeah, there's some
sir.
pissy bureaucrat from Brussels who's about to give us a thumbs down right now on the stream.
Joke's on him that works for it anyways.
He's like, you have mischaracterized our fishing regime.
Yeah, I
Oh, it was
bet.
like
Our fisheries.
No, it's like Mr. Revan, the president of the EU, would like to see you and just send her a dick pic.
Oh,
Yeah, so he hits the thumbs down as he looks at his senpai who has a funny mustache on the wall.
I'm trying to remember her name. There's a girl who actually has, so she was contacted because she does a lot of Renaissance fairs
nice.
and events at aquariums. She was contacted by the people who made a movie. I forget the name of the movie, but she has one of the siren tales from that movie. It is heavy and massive, and it looks really good.
Was that
That's
from,
kind of awesome.
Pirates of the Caribbean, the 4th one, with the Johnny Depp was.
No, it's a different tale. It's a different tale entirely.
Damn.
Yeah, I actually follow a cosplayer, who she has the exact same tail, and it's like a couple of $1,000 tail, and she has to like. Oh, link her to us. We're thirsty as fuck. I mean, we're interested.
Wow, man.
Like, it's
Very
an entire suit. It's ridiculous.
Nerd
so-
made hair, huh?
So the cosplayer, she has a tail like the girl in the one in the gif above, and she's there and she has to like be really careful like if she's putting on the tail. The tail is nearly skin tight. So if she said like if she comes up she can't eat anything while she's sitting on the edge, or else her stomach will start pushing out of the suit.
Oh.
Yeah, this tail is like that. Like, this tail is tailored to her, like, to her body with... And it wasn't even made for her. She's not even sure who the actress was who actually wore this tail.
She just happens to be the right size for it.
Yeah.
All right.
Jeez.
Well, Mike,
That's
Barb, I'd say we've been going for about an hour and 10 minutes. So
Yeah, if we would like to, because since we have not only
An hour
left
and
the
20.
rail, we have not only left the rails, but we've gone into orbit some fucking where.
we're literally
No,
talking about
we've-
European fishing regulations at this point.
we've
which is
jumped
something
into the
else.
ocean of mermaids and EU fishing regulations.
So yeah, folks, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna call it here for the night. Thanks for everybody that showed up. Thanks for those of you who are in the comments participating. Thank all of you, obviously, my friends here who showed up to have the
Also,
discussion.
actually,
What?
hold on, before you wrap up, I would also like to say that the links to my channel, Kitala's channel, and actually Armchair's book are in the chat.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, so I would like really suggest that you actually go into each of those links, subscribe to Kitala. She's hilariously undersubscribed, and buy Armchair's book because it's not a pop-up book. I
Fucking
promise.
Christ.
And if
No,
you
no, I've
have
got a better reason for you to buy AW's book, okay? Buy it because it is not woke and it's a fun read. Buy it because you get actual story and escapism as opposed to idiocy. There you go.
You
That's how
like
you buy that
redheads
book.
and war and guys that aren't Sephiroth fighting women.
Oh
Well,
boy.
buy this book and you'll grow hair on your chest.
Hey,
Oh dear God.
if you like giant spiders, werewolf hunters, and fucking centaurs, mine's coming up. It's pretty close to fucking done.
And
That sounds
we're
awesome.
actually really excited because we want it.
Yeah, I think that we should actually do like 3 streams on it. My channel, Barb's channel, Kitala's. Try and shut it out as much as we can. and
Once
then,
once it's ready, I'll get with AW and we'll look at how I'm gonna do it going forward, and then we'll worry about setting the streams to advertise it.
Yeah, well, we need to make basically a whole marketing plan for this.
Yeah,
thing,
because I got to get a hold of the guy for the I got to get a hold of the guy for the cover art and the licensing of the cover art, and then we got to look at how we want to actually do the funding shit and all that.
Yeah.
But everyone would be very thankful and happy if you shared this video and all the links to these channels and that book everywhere, especially in the places where it will irritate and ignite rage in the unproductive masses and the people who really love EU fishing regulation.
You know anybody who works in Brussels right now to send it straight to them
Yes.
because they are going to rage in this.
I actually
Link
do.
it to them.
I did. I linked it to my cousin. I did.
Ah, thank you.
And I
Amazing.
And I've also been removed from the photography club Facebook page because of this link.
That was amazingly quick.
Did that just happen?
Yeah, I have been removed from the
Wait,
Facebook
for real?
page.
For real?
For real. I'm no longer in the photography.
That is fucking brilliant. Holy
I
fuck.
also-
my God.
Hilarious.
The
That's
the
terrible and
photography-
hilarious and
The photography
wow.
group has now changed their sentence from public to private.
That's impressive.
Oh, wow.
All right, well then, fuck you too, assholes. Nobody cares.
Apparently we're
Effective in
whistleblowers on
making-
Irish photography Ponzi schemes here.
Apparently so.
We're after you, photography group. You're gonna go down like Al Capone.
What fucking the Elliot Ness you are not. All right.
I have standards.
I mean, it's
Yeah, well, you don't smoke Lucky Strikes, so what the fuck do you want from me?
All right.
All right, we're gonna call it a night, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the fucking madness that ensued after we got about halfway into this conversation. There will be another Guild Wars stream at some point once we are all feeling better and can get it together.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you guys have a great
I would-
fucking night.
I would like to thank Fire for having me on a stream this weekend where I'm not interrupted every 2 seconds.
Oh
Thank you all
boy.
for being a friend, and you beautiful, sexy people. We'll see you later, Tiger Growl.
Jesus.
Later, guys.
Ciao, motherfuckers. We're out.